Hi everyone, welcome to the first official video of the Most Coders, and today we are going to learn about basics of computer and its operations. Although I'm quite sure we all know what a computer is, but if we want to code its definition, a computer can be defined as an electronic device which is very capable of receiving, storing, processing and outputting the data. It is a machine which can perform a variety of tasks and operations. And those operations can be simple calculations or complex simulations. And we all are aware of the buzzword in today's world, the artificial intelligence. So in a nutshell, a computer can perform all these operations. Now, what is a computer made of? A computer consists of hardware components and it contains the software components. The hardware components can be the central processing unit or the brain of the computer. It could be the memory, the storage devices or the input-output devices. And the software components is nothing but the operating system and the applications that run on our system. If we look back at the history of computers, it started in the 19th century when analytical engines and tabulating machines or calculating machines were developed. The 20th century gave rise to the modern day computers with the development of transistors and integrated circuits, or ICs as we call it. The 21st century, however, is the information age which has found its advancements in number of fields, which can be biotechnology, nanotechnology, robotics, cyber technology, and information technology. Computers today have revolutionized the world as they can find their application in almost every domain. I am going to enlist a few important ones here. The first one being the business and finance. In business and finance, it could be accounting and bookkeeping, which means automating the financial records, maintaining the payrolls, and performing tax calculations. The second can be analyzing data and making some informed business decisions by analyzing large amount of data set. The third can be maintaining details about the CRMs, that is the customer relationship management. The fourth and very commonly used is the e-commerce or the online shopping platforms, maintaining the inventories for them and maintaining the payment gateways for them. The second is the education. So e-learning is a major domain in the education which includes online courses, virtual classrooms and educational software. So even when you're learning right now, it's also a part of e-learning. The next is the research, which means access to online journals, databases and research tools which earlier was not possible. The third is the administration, which means maintaining the student records, communicating them important information or scheduling. So scheduling could be scheduling their examinations and say one-to-one sessions with their teachers. So it could be that. Okay. So education is the second important detail. Then the third is the healthcare. So the healthcare includes the electronic health records of patients for easy accessal and management. Then the medical imaging, that is performing MRIs, CT scans and X-rays. The third is telemedicine or remote consultations and monitoring, and this was a very important thing that came into play during the COVID-19. The last is the pharmaceutical research, which means discovering the medicines and developing them using the computational models. The next application we have is of science and engineering, so which can include simulation and modeling or forecasting of important details like weather. Then in data analysis, we can analyze a large amount of data using statistical analysis. In computer-aided design, a virtual environment is given and testing could be done on a prototype. So say for example, a pilot is trained first on a virtual environment before he gets to fly an actual airplane. The entertainment section includes the gaming, multimedia and streaming services like Netflix and Spotify. Another important application of computers is communication, which include email messaging, video conferencing, and social networking. Government also offers a lot of services to its public, including services like tax filing, license renewals, and maintaining public records. The public safety is maintained through surveillance system, emergency response coordination, and cybercrime analysis. The transportation section can also be improved by traffic management, route planning, and public transportation systems, finding its applications via computers. So I've tried to enlist 10 applications here. The next is in the manufacturing sector, wherein the automation could be done through automated assembly lines. The inventory management could be done and the quality could be controlled through automated systems. That means discarding the low quality products and accepting the high quality products. The next is the agriculture sector, wherein the precision farming can be performed using sensors and data analytics. The supply chain management could be done. The weather could be predicted in order to plan the farming activities. And the very last is the personal use. So that means the home automation, wherein we are using the smart home devices for lighting, security, and climate control. Personal finance could be managed through computers. And entertainment, so that means streaming movies, playing games, and social networking are all a part of computers applications. So in the very first slide, we understood that a computer is capable of inputting, processing, outputting, and storing the data. So how does it take place? Let's understand that. So when we talk about input, so that is basically receiving the information from user via any input device. It can be a keyboard, a mouse, a microphone, a camera, or a scanner. So that information is processed using a very important unit, that is the CPU or the central processing unit. What it does is it fetches those instructions from memory as to what is expected of it to be performed. The CPU decodes those instructions and executes those instructions. Since it is in a machine readable form, so a computer decodes and executes those instructions and stores the result back in memory. Then that processed information could be displayed to the user. It can be via form of any output devices. It can be a printer, it can be in the monitor, and so on. So when we talk about storage, it is nothing but where the information is stored permanently. It can be a hard drive, a flash drive, a CD, or in fact it can be your cloud account. Continuing to the last slide, this is a very important question that is asked in many examinations in one way or the other. It is data versus information. Okay, so data is something that you feed into the computer. So that means it is raw facts and figures which do not make much sense. But what comes out of it after processing is the information. So that is the data represented in useful and meaningful form. Clearly, the data is unorganized and have no meaning on its own. It needs to be processed, organized, or given context to make it useful. Okay, if you see this picture on the right hand side, you can see that this is the operational environment. That means the working environment. Okay, this data is being passed. When it is processed or exploited, it gives some further information. And the next step is that if you analyze this data, so it gives us more intelligent results. So that means intelligence. Okay, so example of it could be, say you have sales figures for a company. However, it does not make much sense on its own. When it is processed and analyzed, this can basically help you create a graph or a chart which shows the sales trends over a time period, which means that say you can analyze from that what are the results or how well an organization has performed in last 6 months or last 3 months. So to summarize this, data is raw, unorganized, while information on the other hand is processed and given context to be meaningful for decision making. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, The Morse Coders. Until next time, happy coding.